Hello, I'm Olivia again, and this time we'll read chapter 7, chapter 8, chapter 9, chapter 10 of Midnight on the Moon. Okay, let's go. Chapter 7, The Moon Man. Jack's heart nearly stopped it. He could hear Annie talking. Hi, she said. We come in peace. There was silence. Then Jack heard Annie say, "Thank you. I have to help my brother up now." A moment later, Annie rolled back Jack onto his back. He grabbed his head and pulled him up. "Thanks," said Jack. Once he was standing, the moon was a few feet away. His face was hidden by a metal visor. He looked like a spaceman, a huge spaceman, with a giant tank on his back. It was as big as a refrigerator. "That's a jetpack," said Jack. "I've seen pictures of the future astronauts flying with those things. It's like a mini spaceship, right?" The moon man didn't answer. "I don't think he can hear us," said Annie. "He's not look like up to our radio." "All right," said Jack. "I'll write him on the message." "Good idea," said Annie. Jack pulled out his notebook and pencil. He wrote, "We are Jack and Annie. We come in peace from America. Who are you?" Jack handed the note and his pencil to the moon man. They looked tiny in his big hands. The moon man looked down at the message. He looked at the tiny pencil. Then he turned the notebook over. Jack and Annie watched the moon man put the pencil to the paper. He was writing something very carefully. Finally, he gave a notebook back to Jack. Jack and Annie stared at the marks. "Stars," said Annie. "Here are stars. Maybe it's a space map," said Jack. "Space map," said Annie. "Hey, Jack, map starts with M." "Oh, wow," said Jack. "This must be the fourth M thing. Let's ask him what the map means," said Annie. She turned around. "We'll never know now," she said. "Why?" said Jack. "Look up from the map." "That's why," Annie pointed. The moon man was flying over the mountains. "Thanks," Annie cried. Chapter 8, One Star to Another. "Who's that guy?" said Jack. "What does his map means?" "I don't know," said Annie. "But let's see if it works." Jack took a deep breath. "Yeah, we'd better hurry back. I think I'm running out of air." It feels harder to breathe." "For me too," said Annie. "Go slow. Don't breathe too much," said Jack. He and Annie took long floating steps toward the moon base. Jack held his breath as if he were underwater. By the time they got to the white dome, he was ready to burst. Annie pushed the button beside the huge door. It slides open. They hurried into the air-lock. The door closed behind them, and the door to the hallway opened. Jack opened the visor of his helmet. He took a long, deep breath and let it out. Ah! Let's get out of the suit, said Annie. Good idea. Jack was dying to free his arms and legs. They moved clumsily into the spacesuit's storeroom. Jack felt heavy again. He and Annie unlocked each other's helmets, gloves, and boots and pulled everything off. Then they stepped it out of their bully suits. Phew, Jack said. He took off his glasses and rubbed his eyes. He was great to be free, even if he no longer laughed to light as a feather. Hurry, Peanut's waiting, said Annie. She led the way down the steps to the bright standing crumble. Yes, she said softly. Jack was relieved to see the treehouse still there. Soon they'd be heading home. He couldn't wait. Jack and Annie crawled through the treehouse window. We're back, Peanuts, said Annie. Squeak! Peanuts ran to the letter M. We miss you, said Annie. She patted the mouse head. We met a moonman. Sorry, Peanuts, but you have to move, said Jack. We have to put the map on the M. Annie gently lifted on the mouth of the M. Jack tore the star mouse map out of his notebook. He placed it on the M next to the marshmallow bone, the mango, and the moonstone. He sighed. Then sat back on his heels. Hand me the Pennsylvania book. He said they need the Pennsylvania book to get back home. There was silence. Jack turned and looked at Annie. It's not working, Jack said. The book not here. What? Was the map was wrong thing? They looked around the treehouse. It's definitely not there, said Annie. Oh no, Jack's heart sank. He picked up the star's map and started at it. Squeak, squeak! Peanut jumped up on Annie's arm and scrubbed back to the letter M. I've got an idea, said Jack. He reached into his pack and took out the pencil. What are you doing, said Annie. You know how you draw a constellation, said Jack. You connect all the stars. What happens if we try that? He drew a line from the star to another. He kept drawing until all the stars were connected. Let me see, said Annie. Jack held the paper out so they could both study it. It looked like a mouse, said Annie. Yes, said Jack. Is there such a thing as a mouse constellation? Said Annie. I don't think so, said Jack. Squeak! Annie and Jack looked at Peanuts. She was standing on the M. Oh, wow, Jack, Annie whispered. I think I know what the fourth thing is. Jack grinned. Me too, he said. It's a mouse. They sat together. Squeak, squeak! Maybe the spell is moonstone, mango, marshmallow, mouse. said Annie. Jack touched each end, then in turn as he whispered, Moonstone, mango, marshmallow, bone, mouse. Let's say it over and over and see what happens, said Annie. Together they chatted. Moonstone, mango, marshmallow, mouse. Moonstone, mango, marshmallow, wow. Suddenly a bright light filled the treehouse. The light got brighter and brighter and brighter. The brightest was blinding and thrilling. The air spun with brightness. Then everything was clear. Peanut's mouse was gone, and Morgan Le Fay stood before Jack and Annie. Chapter 9. Morgan. Thank you, Morgan said softly. You have freed me from the magician's spell. Jack just stared at her. You are Peanuts? Annie said. Morgan nodded and smiled. Really? You were with us all the time? Said Jack. On all our missions? Morgan nodded again. Why did you have to go on this mission to find the mouse? Said Jack. If you were always with us to break the spell, we had to do on the moon, said Morgan. We could have broken in the minute we arrived. Oh, that's what Peanuts meant you were trying to say, said Annie. We didn't have to leave the moon base at all. Morgan nodded, smiling. But the Morgan man came along to help us, said Annie. We drew a constellation of a mouse. Is he a friend of yours? Morgan shrugged. Let's just say we had a little talk. He stopped it. By the moon base while you were out. The same way you had to talk with the ninja's master, right? Said Jack. And the monkey and the sorcerer. Morgan nodded. I always squeaked to the one who will help you. But you did understand. They understand you, a mouse, said Jack. Morgan smiled again. Certain wise ones understand a language of the little creatures, she said. I bet if it was you who turned the page of the book, said Annie. To show us where to go next, Morgan nodded. But who turned you into the mouse? Said Annie. Morgan frowned. A certain person who liked to play tricks on me. She said, his name is Merlin. Merlin, said Jack, the greatest magician who ever lived. Morgan sniffed. He's not that great, she said. He doesn't even know how. I have two brave friends too who help me. Us, said Annie stridently. Morgan nodded. And I thank you both all of my heart. You are welcome, said Jack and Annie. Morgan handed Annie and Annie the Pennsylvania book. Are you ready to go home now? She asked. Yes, said Jack and Annie. Annie pointed to the picture of the Frog Creek Woods. I wish we could go there, she said. The treehouse started to spin. It spun faster and faster and faster. Then everything was still, absolutely still, but only for a moment. Chapter 10. Art's Life. The midnight woods woke up. A breeze rustled the leaves. An owl hooted. The sounds were soft, but very alive. Jack opened his eyes. He pushed his glasses into place. He smiled. Morgan was still with them. He could see her in the moonlight. Her long white hair was shining. Morgan, can you and the treehouse stay here? Said Annie. In Frog Creek? No, I must leave again. I'm afraid, said Morgan. I've been gone for Clement for a long time. She handed Jackie's pack. She brushed his cheek. Her hand felt soft and cool. The bit of moon dust still of new. She said, Thank you, Jack, for your great love knowledge. You are welcome, said Jack. Morgan tugged on one of Annie's reins. And thank you, Annie, for your belief in the impossible. You're welcome, said Annie. Go home now, said Morgan. Jack smiled. Home was earth, that bright, colorful world where everything was alive and always changing. Bye, Morgan, said Annie. She started out of the treehouse. Jack looked back at Morgan. Will you come back soon? He said. Anything can happen, said Morgan. The universe is filled with wonders. Isn't it, Jack? He smiled and nodded. Go now, Morgan said softly. Jack followed Annie down the rope ladder. He stepped it onto the ground. The wind started to blow. The tree started to shake. A loud roar filled Jack's ear. He squeezed his eyes shut. He covered his ears. Then everything was silent and still. Jack opened his eyes. The ladder was gone. He looked through the leaves and branches of the giant oak tree. Where the treehouse had been was only moonlight now. Bye, Morgan, he whispered sadly. Bye, Peanuts, said Annie. Jack and Annie stared at the top of the tree for a long moment. Ready? Said Annie. Jack nodded. They started for home. The midnight air felt cool and moist. It was filled with the soft sound of earth life. Jack and Annie left the Frog Creek woods. They started down their street. Annie glanced up at the sky. The moon looks really far away, doesn't it? It did, though, Jack. It was. I wonder how the moon can be up there all around, said Annie. What do you mean? Said Jack. I mean, who helps him put on his spacesuit? Said Annie. Who helps him get up when he falls down? And who is he? Added Jack. And who do you think he was? Said Annie. He must be the scientist or an astronaut from Earth, said Jack. No, I think he's an alien, said Annie. From another galaxy. Jack scoffed. What makes you say that? I just feel it, said Annie. Wrong, said Jack. There's no proof that aliens exist. Maybe not now, said Annie, but don't forget, we were in the future. Oh, brother, said Jack. They crossed their yard and climbed back steps. Annie tiptoed inside the house. Jack followed her. Before they shut the door, he glanced up at the moon. Was Annie's right? He wondered. Could the moon man have come from other galaxy? Morgan's words came back to him. The universe is filled with wonders, isn't it, Jack? Good night, Moon Man, Jack whispered. Then he closed the door. Okay, everyone, this is finished reading Midnight of the Moon. And next time, read another book. And goodbye. See you next time.